Hello, good evening. Please be seated. How's everybody? Thank you for coming here. तुम्हारे भी हैं कोई आदमी? From where? Reuters. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
My name is Catherine and I'm from Reuters in Pakistan. One of the things that we report on a lot there is the difficulties faced by the community there. Can you tell me if the community faces any of those difficulties here in the UK at all?
No, we are not facing any difficulty here in UK. This is why I am here. Had it been here, I would not have been staying here. We had to leave because, this country is the country where there's a freedom of religion. But in Pakistan, you live there, you know there very well. You have been there for some time. That under the umbrella of some obnoxious laws, any person can take sword and kill anybody. So this situation is not here, and I hope it will never be here. And I pray it should never be here.
Good evening, Your Holiness. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Yemi Akunde. I'm from Ben Television. We are the widest reach of ethnic viewers in Europe and in Africa. We have about 30 million reach, and we cater mostly to the African and Afro-Caribbean community. Can I first of all start by saying thank you so much for inviting us here today. I was speaking at my table that this is an eye-opener for a lot of us that are from other backgrounds coming here to sit down and to eat and talk with you and see what you really represent. Thank you so much for involving other faiths, other denominations. Thank you so much for involving the political parties and divide into this program. This is really, really phenomenal, and I must say it's to be applauded. So thank you so much for that. I would also like to know what more can the media outside of the faith, the secular media, other medias that are not from the same background as you, that do not know this information that you're sharing, what more can we do so that we can push this message of peace forward?
Since you are here, you have listened to my speech very well. You can have the copy of it or the recording of it. And I have put the responsibility now on the shoulder of not only to the politicians, not only on the shoulders of influential people, but to the public. And being a media representative, this is your duty to spread this message that the world needs peace in this age, under these present circumstances. So we should all join hands together and fight for bringing peace into the world. Instead of supplying help or aid to those people who are creating disturbance in the world.
Can I also suggest that a conference like this should be thrown open more to other media platforms, because we would not have known that this is happening?
We tried to advertise as much as we could, but the media did not respond well.
Okay, now that we know, now that I've attended, I'm sure that a lot more people, a lot more media partners will be willing to come on board.
So I think
when message of peace.
If you cover my speech, more media will be attracted, inshallah.
All right then, thank you, and well done, sir. Very well done, Your Holiness. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum, Your Holiness. I'm Dragala Sisi, and I work for the Nigerian media.
Nigerian?
Yes. Because we are the largest in the magazine of the ethnic minority, and the name of the newspaper is called Trumpet Magazine. My question is very simple, sir. I want to know your main tips, advice. I want to know your main advice for the youth of this country that have been radicalized to go and fight in Syria. Because I want to know why. Because why are they doing that? What advice do you have for their parents?
My first advice is for the government to create proper job and activities for the youth who are being radicalized here and going to Syria or Iraq. Then, you see, they are frustrated people. They are being misguided by their clerics, their mullahs or whatever it is. So if they should try to teach, to learn the true teaching of Islam. As I've quoted so many verses, there were some few examples. It is not the total verses which the Holy Quran contains in it. There were a few examples. So you see, if you read the true teaching of the Quran, being a Muslim, then you can never be radicalized.
So how can the government now stop the funding of the people that are fighting? Because in Syria,
how can we?
ISIS.
How can we stop funding?
Yes. How can we now stop?
How can we stop?
Yes. How can we?
This was the question raised by me.
Yes.
You should tell me, how can we stop?
I'm just trying to ask you.
You see,
what advice can you give to the government on how to stop?
All those groups who are giving help or aiding to these groups or funding these groups are well known. Even the governments know them. So this is why I say, if you are determined to do it, you can use your firm hand to curb this, right?
Assalamu alaikum, His Holiness.
Islam from Ghana.
His Holiness, my name is Ibrahim Kwatin from Ghana Broadcasting Corporation.
You are going to be given a separate time, I think.
Mashallah. His Holiness, I would want to commend you for the effective articulation of the principles of defensive war.
Please.
I want to commend you highly for the effective articulation of the principles of defensive war in Islam and the need to act with fairness and justice, the renunciation of ISIS, a terror group which you believe is misrepresenting Islam on all fronts, and above all, Islam's rejection of the spread of the religion by force. And my question is, for those Muslims who perpetrate violence using the name of the religion, you have every reason to believe that they are aware of the teachings but deliberately gloss over them. Now, what about our non-Muslim brothers and sisters who are not aware of these beautiful teachings that you have projected to the world today?
This is the task which the Ahmadiyya movement in Islam has taken up, right? And we are spreading the message of Islam. You see, your forefathers were not from the Muslim family. Were they? No? You accepted Islam. See, this is how we are spreading the message of Islam. So, as the time goes on, we hope, inshallah, we shall continue with this mission, and one day we shall bring the whole world into at the platform where they will only talk of peace and love and harmony.
Your Holiness, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
My name's Linda Bowyer. I'm a freelance journalist based here in the UK, specialising in religious, socio-cultural and political affairs, and very much am an advocate of the work that Ahmadi Muslim community does. I was very proud to listen this evening of your address, which was further underpinned earlier on this summer at your address at Jalsa. So thank you for that, Your Holiness. It was very much welcomed, and it was a message that I tried to get out into the local media. However, none of the many titles would actually take that up. Moving on to current matters, it's agreed that, sadly, the name of Islam is being blasphemed by this pestilence, this evil, which is ISIS. This pestilence, this evil, which is ISIS.
Yes.
And I believe that myself as a Christian woman, yourself and as the leader of the Khalifa for the Ahmadi Muslim community, together both faiths can do a lot here on UK soil to actually try and educate and rid this evil that's portrayed, that's being portrayed as the face of Islam, which is obviously not. Would you agree that there should be some creation of a framework, either from an organisational perspective, or whether it's from a governmental perspective or from an educational perspective, perhaps actually working with governmental departments, to actually look at outreach work, to educate, not just in mosques with clerics and imams, etc., but at schools, at faith schools, at non-denominational schools, whereby we can actually look to embrace faith, pan-denominational faith, and show what the true face of Islam really is, which is peace. Would you agree that that could be a way forward? And would you see the Ahmadi community being involved in that, and to what extent?
You see, we are also doing this task. We are working in Africa, running some schools, and they are secular schools. For your surprise, I should tell you that in our schools, not only Islamic religious knowledge is being taught, but Bible knowledge is also being taught there. See, we are very liberal people, and teaching them, apart from the other secular education, we are giving this religious education. So let the people understand their true faith. So we have been doing as much as we could. But here also, if you see our youth, it cannot be radicalized, because from the very beginning we teach them what is the true religion, what is their duties, what do they owe towards God, their creator, what do they owe towards their fellow being. So if they realize all these things, they can never be radicalized. So we have been doing within our limited resources as much as we can. So, but we even try to get some other groups involved in our effort.
Do you think that could? Sorry. Do you think that could be something that could be led on a larger level? I fully appreciate and I'm aware of the wonderful efforts that have been done by the Ahmadi community, kind of locally and also nationally. But to have more of an impact, do you think that we could actually look at cross-faith, cross-cultural collaboration, where we're looking at interfaith partnerships to actually work together to actually promote that message of peace?
This is what I say. We organized even just last February, we organized interfaith conference, and the topic was the God in 21st century. Jew scholar, cardinal, Catholic cardinal, Hindu scholar, and some Druzi scholar, some other politicians, and I myself spoke on the issue. And they were all educated and well-educated and literate people there. So this is how we are trying our level best to spread the message. But in the United Kingdom, the total number of Ahmadiyya community is 30,000, right? Yeah. And the Muslim community is 2 million or plus.
Nearly 3 million, I think, yes.
So the effort we are making with regards to developing or creating peace in this country even is much more than that what the 2 million people or 3 million people are doing. So we are trying to do our level best in this regard.
It will come, inshallah.
Yes.
It will come.
And we shall continue doing it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In your speech this evening, you mentioned if there was war, if there was violence, in terms of the Muslim world, it was defensive. But yet somehow within that defensive war, you managed to create an empire that, as you say, stretched from Spain right the way through to the bottom of India.
Pardon?
That's a conflict, surely.
Yes,
Can you explain that to me?
I mentioned southern part of India, not Sindh. Islam spread or went to India first from the southern part of India, right? And then it was Muhammad bin Qasim who invaded India from Sindh side. There's a different story, right? And I admitted in that my speech there that the battles which were fought during the early time of first 4 Khalifas, and after that to some extent by the first century, was not for the sake of invasion, not for the sake of grabbing some land, It was just the other parties invaded. They tried to destroy Muslims in their areas, or at least the neighboring areas. This is why, in retaliation, Muslim had to fight. So,
So really you're saying it was always defensive?
So, yes. Pardon?
You're saying that the creation of the Muslim empire was always through defensive?
I said that when there was true Muslim governments or true Muslim Khilafat, there was no such invasion. You can never prove from the history. But it will take some time. If you want to prove it, I can argue with.
Well, we're definitely going to be talking to you again, sir, but thank you very much for that explanation. Yes. Thank you very much. Can I just add, by the way, we opened a dedicated channel 3 years ago for the Ahmadiyya, and we, as a broadcaster, will continue to make sure that your message is seen by as many people as possible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
They're very good, they broadcast everything.
Your Holiness, I'm Juliet from London Television. Some Muslims think that supporting the poppy appeal and honouring the fallen is un-Islamic, whilst the Mahdi Muslims are seen to support the poppy appeal. Why is there such a divergence in thinking amongst Muslims?
I don't know. We know of ourselves. And we believe that we are the true, or the Muslims who are truly practicing the teaching of Islam. So, I say that the Holy Prophet of Islam said that the love of one's country is part of your faith. So, if we love our country, if Britain is our country, we are getting all sort of benefit from it, then we have to love it. And if we are loving your country, then whether it is poppy appeal or something else, you have to to be the part of it.
Thank you. I have a further short question. Some Muslim youngsters find it too tempting to be lured by the opportunity into jihad and make war. Why are some educated Muslim youngsters thinking that way? And how can they be helped in Great Britain or from the rest of the world?
Yeah.
Why some Muslims going for jihad?
No.
Educated.
Educated Muslims. This is what I say. I think I said that they are frustrated people. Some of them are educated but not getting jobs. Just recently there was a news that in the UK the unemployment rate has fallen down to some extent, to a certain percentage. But it also said that the least beneficiary of that unemployment rate are youngs. So if they are not getting a job despite having education, then there is frustration that is causing them. And if they go to mullahs and go to some other places where they are asked that if you go to join the ISIS or any other group, you will be given $7,000 as a lump sum, and then some other amount on a weekly or monthly basis. So this is the duty of the government to create jobs for young ones. I know even one Egyptian who is PhD in chemistry. He's not an Ahmadi, but he could not get job in his field, so he's doing some odd job, and he is driving not milligam, only bus service, metropolitan bus. Yeah? So after having done PhD in chemistry, this is how he's wasting his potential. So that causes frustration,
yes.
And that frustration is the cause of it.
Well, thank you for your words. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Erica Haag. I am representing the leading Asian newspaper in London and Midlands. I would like to ask you a question the role of a woman in bringing peace and harmony in this world.
Role of women
Yeah.
in bringing peace and harmony in this world. The basic role is of woman, not one of men. Because the Holy Prophet says of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that if a woman teaches and trains her children in a way that they become useful for the society, for the nation, for the country, for their faith, that woman is actually making place in paradise. See, this is the role of woman.
What would be your message to the Asian community in London and Midlands?
To the message I gave at the end of my speech, that just try to recognize their creator. And the Muslim community should remember that the very first chapter of the Holy Quran says, you praise Allah who is the sustainer and provider of all of the mankind. If you believe in this, you can never harm anybody. Right?
Thank you so much.
Satisfied? Okay. Thank you.